Hey, introducing. Hey. Hey, everybody. Peace and blessings, everybody. How's it Welcome to another edition of Introducing Podcast. Thank you so much for being here today. I really do truly appreciate you guys. It is, oh yeah, woohoo, we in the building, whoop. Thank y'all all for being here today. I am so excited. Listen, it's one of those days I was like, I'll be honest with you. Can I be honest with you? Can I be honest? Is this a safe space? Yes, this is a safe space. I was like, I don't know if I was gonna do my show this week. I didn't know if I was doing my show only because it's like so many things going on. And I was like, I'm doing this camp and it's like I'm up early, I'm going to the gym, I'm eating lettuce and I'm on protein and I'm planning. I'm busy, I'm like tired, and I was like, do I want to do the show? And it was like I didn't even create, like I usually have this flow and I create all the stuff and I prepare for the show. And again, blessings, God, right? The way God works. Because I'm doing this series, I knew what I was talking about. I knew what we were talking about today, right? But I hadn't necessarily planned it out. So being able to have a system and a flow of how I do things, I was able to just create what I needed to create in the last couple of hours to prepare for the show. So I'm just excited to be here because I know what it took for me to be here. So I appreciate y'all showing up. That's my soapbox for today. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel today. I'm just telling you the truth, okay? All right? Because I might go to the gym after this. I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. Because I know I'm going to be very excited after this. All right, so let's get into it. Hey, everybody, I want to say hi to you all. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome sauce. I love you guys. All snap. Hey Pronoia Starcy Podcast. Hey Cortland Jones. And hey Patricia Glenn, aka Mother. Thank you for being here with me today. Let me know that you're here. Tap in if you catch the replay. Leave a comment. Make sure you make sure you like it, and share. That's it. And if you don't, that's fine. That's okay. The people will get it. So we are talking about what? What are we talking about, everybody? All right. Oh, yeah. Make sure you have your pencil and pad because we're going to be talking about the universal laws. And so today we're going to be talking about the law of correspondence. Okay. And the law of correspondence tells us that, this is the title of the show. The title of the show is As Within, So Without. This is the law of correspondence. So this is the third law. We are 2 laws in. Who can tell me what the first 2 laws are? Put them in the chat. Let me know if you know what the first 2 laws are. All right. Oh, yes. So tell me what the first 2 laws are, if you remember what the first 2 laws are. But we're talking about the law of correspondence today. And the law of correspondence teaches us that the outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So whatever is happening within our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotional patterns, right, will manifest in the people, circumstances, and energy and things around us, right? So this builds on what we've been talking about in the first 2 laws, okay? This law invites us, though, to look within, knowing that we can shift our internal and then and then in turn create new external realities. Okay, this is where you can have some power. Okay, because we'll get into it, because it's a mind shift. It's a mindset shift, or how you can really use this law, right, as you align with your authentic self. So we're gonna get all into it. We're gonna get into it. So let's see, do we have the first? Okay, Pronoia said the law of vibration. Yes, that was the second one. And Corliss said oneness and vibration. Yes, the first law was the law of oneness, which said that we are all connected, right? And then the second one is everything is vibration. Everything is vibration. And this is saying if you put them all together, then what do you get? What do you get? When you put it all together, what do you get? You get that how I vibrate affects how the outer vibrates, because there's a connection. There's some type of connection. As within, so without. That is the law of correspondence, and that's what we're talking about today. And we're going to be talking about how we can use this law to shift, right? How we are internal, and then and in turn creating a new external. So the law of correspondence states that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. Okay. Now this some may be difficult for people to understand sometimes, because it's a tough one to digest, because when we look at our lives, it takes a certain level of like accountability and acceptance to look at your world and be like, oh, I created this in it intentionally, not on purpose, okay, by accident, because you weren't aware, right? But there is this awareness that happens when you understand this law, that at first may catch you off guard, because it's a little jarring to believe that you had something to do with how your life may be, especially if it's not how you would like it to be. Okay, all right. But with that being said, this and it applies to different things, because it applies to like relationships, it applies to health, money, our creativity, and how we experience life. So if we continue to have bad experiences, right, it's like, okay, this law requires us to say, you're telling me that these bad experiences have something to do with something that's vibrating in me? Yes, that's what it's saying. So you have to check yourself, but it's not in a way to judge yourself. And that's the important part I want people to understand with this. It's you still give yourself grace and patience and love, but it is a check that you have to do. It's a vibe check, right? It's a vibe check. That's how you have to check your vibration. This is the vibe check. We know everything's a vibe. This is the vibe check. Are you actually aligning with the vibe that you want? There you go. All right. Yes, they do go hand in hand. Right. So life is a mirror. If it shows up out there, it's probably living somewhere in here. That's a reality. That is a hard truth, right? And it doesn't always have to be bad, but it is a reflection. We have to understand, like, this is the law. It's the way it works. Life is a reflection, what we're going to see. And so it's a good thing when you start to see people that, because the reality is, when we don't like what it looks like, we don't want to see it. But when it's good and you can see it, then it's like, yeah, I see it, because at this point I see it. But it did come with accepting the fact that when I did not like what my life looked like, I had something to do with that. Versus now, the reflection I see are people, and people that I love, experiences that are pleasant, and these things are happening because I'm creating this internal peace, this internal joy, this internal happy place, right? That in turn, because my vibe is right, vibe check is mirroring that in my life, because it's out there, it's in here now. That's just how I say. Hmm. And because there's a law, and we'll talk about that later. This goes both ways too. So that's why you have to be careful of what you take in, because what you surround yourself with, that vibration will get in you. Like it will get in you. You will start to mirror. That's why you can go into environments, and then you can start to show up as the environment instead of yourself. It Yes. Hmm. Okay. All right. So, and when we're looking at this, so again, life as a mirror, when we're looking at situations that are not ideal, that we do not like, that they challenge our beliefs, our faith, they challenge our desires. Oh, excuse me. They bring up repeated patterns or struggles, or we have chaos in our life. This is the time where you can ask yourself this question. It's like, what is this situation showing me about me? So there's this reflective nature is what the law of correspondence is about. Yes. I love that. She said, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yes. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because that's what it is. If you don't check yourself, you're going to wreck yourself. You're going to run yourself right into all of the trauma and drama that you have stored up in your life that you haven't paid attention to. And that's the problem with burying things inside. That's why you have to release and let go, right? Because if it's in you, right, it's eventually going to show itself outside of you. It's the law, of course. It's the way the universe works. That's just the way it is. I didn't write the book, okay? I didn't write it. I did write a book, but I didn't write this book, okay? I'll tell you. I'm just saying. Woohoo. All right. So how do we shift this um world, right? How do we shift our inner, because we're talking about it. And it's like, okay, Crystal, you sound okay, smart video girl, you sound like you know what you're talking about. But how do I shift my inner? How do I do that? How do I shift my inner world? Okay. What if I can't escape my environment? Because that's the truth too. Sometimes you can't escape your environment, right? But then that's where you have to really learn how to um, create your world through things like meditation, and finding quiet places to like kind of create a new world. If you don't do it, if you don't do it, if you don't find the space and the time, like if there's a will, there's a way. That's why they will is one of those superpowers I write about. Your will. If there's a will, there's a way. If you hold that deep down inside, you will find a way to find your peace. You will find your peace. Your peace will find you. You will find it. Check your vibe. What do you really want? Because internally you will do those things again, inner work, inner shift. And you can't lie, because the body vibration, we're talking about the vibration, so you can't lie to your body. And you got to understand, these things we're talking about, they're going to happen whether you believe it or not, like whether you know it or not, whether you pay attention to these laws or not. The law is the law, is the law. It is what it is. So the best thing is to know about it so that you can work with it in order to do things like shift your internal energy. That's why it's important. Like, I want to stress the importance of the seriousness of doing the self work and being true to yourself. I don't care if you lie to everybody. You can lie to everybody else, but do not lie to yourself. I implore you, do not lie to you. 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 Don't do it. And then when you don't lie to yourself, you show up authentically, so you can't lie to other people. But I'll leave that alone. All right. How do you shift this inner work? What do you do? What can you do? Um, Yes, so this is something to remember. Your life is always giving you feedback about what your attention and energy are focused. So this is why you have to pay attention. Your life is going to show you whether you like it or not. That's you have to get over that. And I don't know how else to say that. And you have to get over the fact of whether you like it or not. You can deal with that, but you have to know that this is why this is happening. So then you can deal with it effectively. Like you can make a more informed decision whether you like it or not. If that is, I think, secondary to what is happening. So do you want that to continue to happen in your life should be the question. Whether or not you like your life or not is not the question. Is it what do you, or not you like your whether or the question is whether or not you don't like your life enough to change your life is the question. Yes, because you have to not like it enough. So that's where that I get it now. That's where I get it now. When people say you have to want it enough, like you have to be mad enough or you have to be upset enough, you have to want to do it enough that it just tips over the fact that you want to change it. Okay, anyway, I digress. All right. Which is very key, but I digress because that's not what we're going to talk about. That's not what we're talking about right now. So, how do we use this law? Because what I'm talking about is being able to empower yourself to take responsibility for your life, not blame it. And that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. We have to be able to use this law in a way that empowers you to make better, more informed decisions about your life because you're seeing it firsthand. You'll start to see it shift as you shift internally, right? You'll start to see a shift, but it will happen first internally, and so that's why you have to continue on and know that this is again a process too. So what happens within, just like if you go into an environment, you don't change as soon as you walk in. Over time you soak in the environment, then you become it. Same thing, vice versa. Over time, as you work on yourself internally, over time, then externally, you will see that reflected externally. It's the same thing. You have to give it time. And the time is irrelevant. Like how long it's going to take, don't worry about that part. That's all I got to say. You have to say. All right. So, so yes, we're taking responsibility for our lives. We're not blaming. We're not blaming, right? And how do we do this? Okay, guys. So of course we're going to be asking ourselves questions. I mean, this self work, like we're combining. I'm talking about the universal laws, but I'm applying it to the self work that we do, right? Um, this self work requires you to talk to yourself a lot. It requires a lot of self inquiry and journaling. So if you don't journal, you can voice record. You can video record. You can do whatever you want to do. But I think getting it out, if you can even just talk to yourself if you have to. I talk to myself. If you have to talk to yourself, then do that. But that the inquiry and the exploration of your thoughts and your feelings are what helps you understand them and to be able to use them in accordance to the laws that I'm presenting to you over the course of these next 12 weeks. All right. Again, mirror work. Again, talk to yourself in the mirror. Stillness, meditation, find that honest reflection without judgment. Honest reflection without judging yourself. It's the best way because all of this is just really creating a level of awareness so that you can go forth knowingly, consciously, right? Making informed decisions. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Where are we at? Yeah. When you change your inner story, your external story follows. That's what I was saying to you earlier. That's what I mean. And I mean what I say. Okay. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And if you're patient with yourself, if you are kind, Um, well, look at that. If you am I getting ahead of myself? Probably. All right, so it's journal time. Yeah, good. I know I got a lot of I got some feedback last time that I flew through the show, and I did rush through that show. I rushed through that show. I was ready to go. I was ready to go. But this one I was like, no, I'm not gonna rush through it, and I'm still at 20 minutes. But anyway, nonetheless, but I do have some things to talk about towards the end anyway. But anyway, journal time. Let's get our journal reflection on about how we can use the law of correspondence. Okay, understanding the law of correspondence to shift our internal worlds to see a better external world, the external world that we envision for ourselves. Okay, so with that being said, this is an internal reflection because we want to see if there are things that we don't like, right? We want to search inside of us of where this is showing up. And let's be clear, just because we're not saying that this is bad things. It's always going to be something. Just because things around you are bad, you have to know too. Sometimes it just may be my environment. I just need to be more. I just may need to pay attention to how I am allowing this to get into my energy. Right? You can do that because if you're aware of how it's affecting you, then you can be proactive about, rejecting it. It takes a lot of energy too, but you can be more aware of how you can, you know, um, okay, transmute the energy. That's what I'll say. Mm. Oh my God, I'm thirsty. Sorry. Whew. Hallelujah. All right. So, first journal prompt. What's something in my life right now that feels misaligned or frustrating? Mm. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's a good one. Second one is what belief, emotion, or pattern within me might be contributing to this experience? Mm. Again, remember, you guys are scientists. We are scientists. We are doing inquiry right now. We are finding out why. We're doing deep exploration as to why we are dealing with what we are dealing with. And then the last question is what can I shift internally to begin creating a new external reality? So, could you check your vibe? Because you just evaluated your belief, your emotions, your pattern, how can you shift that belief? Are you using an affirmation? What are you doing? Are we creating a new routine? Right? This all these things that you can shift internally because it starts with you. It starts with you. So once you shift that internally, then it will translate externally. There you go. Boom, bang, bingity, bang. Mm, Okay, that's right. So Patricia Glenn said, uh, I like what you said. Let go and let God. Don't beat yourself up. Cortland Jones said, question 3, intention plus attention, practice to enhance self-work journey. Right. Exactly. Exactly. And so this is the thing, as you grow and as you evolve, these are like check-in points. And you gotta understand, like as you're evolving, like if you're just starting out on this journey, um, it may be rough. It may be dark in this space when you're asking these questions. It may be treacherous. It may be full of dirty thoughts and trauma filled beliefs and patterns that aren't yours. Like it may be full of all of these things, right? And you don't understand why your world shows up the way it does, because it's not your world. It's a world that was created by things that were poured in by other people, perhaps unbeknownst to you, right? But this is now where you get to say, no, 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 that doesn't work for me. And then you get to align yourself with those things. And it starts with this internal work. And so this law shows us how we can shift, how it's possible when they say you can change your world. This is the law for that. It's not just a cliche. It's not just cliche. This is the law of the universe, of how it works. Okay. So some things to remember. We're going to practice self-compassion. Right? What I said, be gentle with yourself. Like Patricia Glenn said, don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Relax, relate, release. Listen. Everything is always working in your favor. You are always being guided in the right direction. That's the message I got today. You are always being guided in the right direction. Okay? So, compassion. Celebrate when you see shifts happening after doing the work, right? This is the part that you are looking for. You see it now. This is where you show gratitude, right? You're grateful in advance, but let's get happy and excited when you see the fruits of the work that you are doing, because this stuff is work. This stuff is work. Okay. And remember that alignment with your authentic self requires awareness. It starts with awareness. Awareness, awareness, awareness. So much so that I talk about awareness in my brand new book. Yes. My brand new book that is available. And yes, do the work, keep the faith. Aligning with your authentic self is now available. You can scan the QR code there and it will take you to one of the many different online platforms that you can purchase this book. This journey, do the work, keep the faith. I lived this book internally in my life. My coach told me about it. He told me, he said, you have to live this book. I lived it in my internal world. And to see it out now, I am doing what I've asked you to do, which is to celebrate when you see the work happen, when you do your work. Do the work, keep the faith. Do the work, keep the faith. It's out, it's available. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, ebook, paperback, and hard copies are available. There's going to be so much more. I mean, I'm so excited. Like my friends, like, you need to put your book. I was like, so there it is. Because one, I appreciate you guys again, like I said, being here, supporting, watching the show, watching the podcast, showing up every week, being here. And that's why I was like, I have to show up because they show up for me. So they what I look like. In the world, outer world. In the world, outer world. And so I'm so excited to be able to share this with you, to say that my book is available. You can go and purchase it on Amazon. You can go purchase it on Barnes and Nobles. You can go purchase it on Books A Million. You can go purchase that thing anywhere in the world online. I'm so grateful and honored and excited, and just there are not enough words to express how I feel in this moment. And I thank you all for your support. And I thank those who have already purchased and some who have read. Okay. And the only reason is because I said, and they just jumped, they just did it. They just jumped on it. That's right. That's right. Thank you guys. I really did. I'm just so I'm I don't want to, you know, give you my emotional energy. Okay. I'm not trying to vibe like that with y'all. But and get all emotional, but I am very super grateful. This book fuels a lot of, because I even talk about the universal laws in the book and how they all go together, how all this information, how the work that is you aligning with your authentic self, becoming the fullest expression of who you are is a journey. Okay. And it is not one to be taken lightly. It is not one for the faint of heart. And it is one where you have to do it by yourself. And you have to walk knowing that you are being led in the right direction. And oh my goodness. And I'm looking at the book cover as I'm saying that, and that's what I see. Someone walking on a journey to the light by herself, doing the work that is her, doing the work that is you. So it's not an autobiography in the sense of my journey, but this is everything that I worked on to get to in my journey to getting to where I am today. And I know where I come from, so that is a very very long journey, but it was very much worth the wait. It was very much, I'm glad that I kept the faith. I'm glad I had the tenacity and the fortitude to push through all adversities, even when I didn't know how. And that's the thing. And that's the thing. I want to encourage you all. We all have done that. We all have overcome because we're still here. Okay? We all overcome because we're still here. You've overcome something, whatever that is, the something, whatever. But the things we don't even realize the whole time how we are applying these laws or how we're living in our authentic self, but we don't even know it. But when we become aware of it, you activate your superpower. I told you guys are superheroes. We're superheroes. You are a superhero. But we don't know how to use our powers. And when we work on ourselves, when we do the work, that is learning the mechanics that have been placed uniquely in you, the original programming that was put in you, then you become you become whatever you want to be. An alien, a superhero, a spider, whatever. But you are you. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I want that for everybody. And so I'm sharing because these things literally shifted. I could feel the shift. It was taking everything that I had experienced in life and then putting it all together on a puzzle. And it's like all these pieces fit together. And for anybody who's been through anything, who's at a point who's like, I want to really learn to transmute energy, because the language, I really want to be able to shift my energy. I really want to be able to do these things that I've heard so much about, but I don't know how to apply them to my life. That's what this book is about. And I did not mean to come on here and talk about this, but that is what this book is about. That's what's in this book. The content in this book is just a way to help you on your journey of aligning with your authentic self. And again, it is under my understanding that becoming awareness is the key. That is the first step. You have to be aware. And we jump to judging, right? We jump into thinking we skip so many steps in the process. And I talk about that out for anybody. We skip to the I know that and don't know nothing, right? That we don't get to the part where we're really aware, we're soaking it in without judgment, but because we don't want to. Anyway, so many cross overlapping topics. Anyway, I'm so excited. So yes, Do the Work, Keep the Faith is out. The book is out. I'm so excited. Thank you, mommy. I appreciate it. You know, it's been a very, very long journey. So I appreciate you too. Thank you. Says she's so proud of me. This is your dream come true. You stay determined and focused. Congratulations. I did stay focused. I was determined. You was right. You are right about those things. So scan the QR code, get the book, the paperback, the hard copy, and the ebook. Get the ebook and a physical copy. You know, read it and share it. But I think you will enjoy it, and I appreciate everybody who will be purchasing it. And if you could, you know, send me a picture of yourself, you know, DM me or something. If you get a copy of the book, take a picture and send it to me. Boom. I appreciate you. All right, so we're gonna wrap this show up. We were talking about the law of correspondence, which tells us that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. Mm, mm. Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. Okay. And we know now that that is not something that we want. That's not to say to judge our lives, to blame anybody, but to take accountability, responsibility, and control of our lives so we can shift our lives. It should be encouraging to you that you actually can shift your world. It should be encouraging. It should encourage your heart. It should make you jump for joy. It should make you figure out, how can I do that? That's what it made me do. But you know, I might be a little different. You know, but if you anything like me, it might make you jump for joy. All right. Remember, you are not powerless. You are a co-creator. And when you shift your inner world, your life will reflect that shift outwardly. Okay. So thank you for being here with me today. If this episode spoke to you, share it with somebody on their journey of awareness and alignment. Next week, we're going to be exploring the law of attraction. And I know y'all are familiar with that because everybody knows about the law of attraction, don't they? You know, everybody's trying to manifest everything. That's one of the most popular, but again, one of the most misunderstood laws. And we talked about that last week, but we're going to get more into the law of attraction next week. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here again with me. This is a video girl, and I will see you guys next